What would you say, or Lily, what would you say to people who think it's going to be too much added chaos to bring in another animal, whether it be bird or any other animal?
It's a legitimate concern, and that's why earlier I said, think hard on it.
Yeah.
And also, if you are willing to, it can be made to work.
Yeah.
You might have to, you definitely have to make adjustments.
Yeah. Every time we know somebody's coming into our life, we know there's going to be adjustments. Like we're all, with Pidge new here, all of us are making adjustments. Everybody in the house. Because she is definitely a bundle of chaos. Yeah.
It's also too,
But
a friend of mine, when they had their first child, I was like, your life's going to change. And he goes, yeah, I know. People always say, and I'm like, no, you don't know. You don't know. You can say you know, but you do not know. And 2 months after she had given birth, she was like, you know, you were right. I had no clue.
But
Yeah.
they just bring, with chaos comes vitality and comes life.
Yeah.
The other side of that, though, is the keeping of an animal and erasing that emotional burden and feeling that animal blossom and come out of its shell is, it's so much more rewarding. When Jake finally started being willing to sit on shoulders and talk with us, like we felt like superheroes.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing when an animal needs something and you can fulfill it like that. That just makes you feel more connected to the universe in ways that are worth the messes and the screams and the bites.
And you will get physically hurt.
But it's just like, but you get that. Hello. This is Lee.
Hello,
She
Lee.
is 52 years old, we think, estimated time.
And those are bird
Which
years,
means
not
she's
people
the-
years.
No, that human years.
That's human
Human.
years.
Oh,
Which means
that's-
she's the oldest person in the house. She is kind of shy. We won't keep her down too long because she's shaking a little bit. Or maybe we'll put her in the living room, see if she's happy there. But she is never going to leave us. She's always going to be with us.
Blind in one eye.
Blind in one eye. She came to us blind. And yeah, she's feeling very insecure being out like this. So I'm going to see if she wants to sit on. Jake can be very shy.
Of course.
He is a really good bird, though. He also very firmly gets a little wary when we want to show him to strangers because he's afraid
Where is he?
he's going somewhere else.
There.
I'll actually be right back. I want to show you something. You guys keep talking.
I'm not sure if I'm getting
Don't
it.
go anywhere. You just come to say hi to Jacob.
I may be just getting Jacob's cage here,
We were told
which is all right.
Nancy Tims of Seymour's Bird Refuge, she knew about Briar's loss, and she always kept in mind that one day we get this email from her saying, would you be willing to take in this elderly African gray? And maybe this Pionus as well. And our answer was, of course. And then Lily and I were like, well, maybe just one bird, but, we waffled back and forth about Jake. And then when I got there, I saw how afraid Jake was because he had come from a bad situation. The woman Nancy had seized him from, and she had state authority to go into anybody's house and pull out any bird from an abusive situation. Yeah, I'm talking about your story.
Jake, I'm going to take one step closer to you and see what happens. I hope that's all right with you.
Easy, you're okay. You're safe, Jake. But she kept him in a dark room. Didn't clean out the cages, didn't really tend to them, would go in and basically throw food at them. The equivalent I put, so people really understand, is locking someone's 80-year-old grandmother inside of a VW bus and feeding them circus peanuts. And not letting her go to the bathroom anywhere but in the bus. Lee's tail feathers were burned from her own feces. That's how much there was in the cage. Nancy had previously put Jake with this woman shortly after her husband died because she seemed to be a good person at the time. This is why I said you need to seriously consider your own situation before you bring somebody else in.
Yeah.
But for the first few months, Jake was in his cage. He wouldn't let anybody touch him. And then he said in a male voice, "How can I take care of you if you won't let me touch you?" Found out that was a human.
Before this woman.
Yeah, before the woman.
I want to keep it as simple as possible because
Okay.
I'm not understanding here.
That's right.
Mainly it's that he just had a...
Before Jake had been surrendered by a man who felt that while he was sick, he couldn't take care of Jake. Nancy housed Jake at this other person's house.
So basically, when he got away, I want to hear what happened.
Well, she asked Lily. Mitzi, that's rude.
Come here.
Lily had left it for me to go
Come
pick
here.
up Lee
Come on.
and decide about Jake. And when I saw how afraid he was,
Come on.
I couldn't help but bring him back. And we let him dictate the terms of the relationship. He didn't want touch, so we didn't touch. He'd get nervous when hands would go up high, so we kept our hands low.
Hey, gentle. Gentle.
Jacob.
That was not gentle.
No?
He's doing fine. He's starting to turn around.
We keep going back between Jake and Jacob, because we were told
So
his
he's in
name
a
was
shadow.
Jake.
You were told his
But
name
we
was
were
Jake.
watching a movie once with somebody named Jacob in it, and he goes, "Jacob, good bird." So we knew that he had both names.
Yep.
It's a great story.
Yeah, he is. When we got him this cage, he was so excited watching David put it together. I'm going to show you the cage that he lived in before coming here. It has
about a
cobwebs,
quarter.
but
It's quarter the size of this.
yeah, and he had been in that cage for a good solid 3 months without coming out. I didn't even want to bring it into this room to show you because I knew seeing it would bother him.
Yeah, he gets very upset when he's seen it.
You want to go to David?
Let's see, can we get in this one?
He's sometimes hard to understand because he's a